Hi everybody, welcome to AstroVed's Live Connect. So this is Vivek here to answer all the questions that have been posted by the users. Let us go ahead with the questions one by one. Before that, let us discuss about the 9 planets and the significances. Okay, what are the 9 planets in astrology? As you know, these are the Sun, the Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu are called the shadow planets. Well, the Sun and the Moon are called the luminaries. The Sun is like the king, the Moon is like the queen. Mercury is like the minister. Jupiter and Venus are like, Mercury is the prince and Jupiter and Venus are like the ministers. Saturn is something like a hard worker. Rahu and Ketu are mystic planets. So let us go ahead with the questions. The first question by a special request has been put forward by Malavika. So the question asked by Malavika is, when will I get a good stable job? Well, on analyzing the birth chart of Malavika, Sun remains exalted in Aries, Venus is in its own house in Taurus. Well, Jupiter is also exalted, Moon is in its own house and Saturn is also in its own house. This is a very good placement for all the planets. So, as Sun is exalted, Saturn in its own house and Jupiter also exalted, this will be a very favorable position for getting job. Okay, what is the dasha and antadasha that the user is running right now? So the user is running the Sun major period and the Moon minor period. All right. So let us see which is the lord of the ascendant. The lord of the ascendant is Mercury, which happens to be in a debilitated state. Whenever the lagna is in a weak state, or when the lord of the lagna or lord of the ascendant is debilitated, things will not work out so easily. Even though you are running a favorable major and minor period, since the lord of the lagna is in a debilitated state in Pisces, that is Mercury, so you will be having tough time in getting a good stable job. So what I do is to offer remedies for you. You can offer remedies for the planet Mercury, namely Buddha. So on Wednesdays you can observe fast and you can avoid non-vegetarian diet on Wednesdays. You can go to temples on Wednesdays and you can also offer some prayers and light oil lamps for Mercury in the Navagraha Sthana. Well, to say something more about that, though the lord of the lagna is debilitated, you can expect some favorable results as far as your career is concerned during this period. So go ahead, all the best, search for a job and you will get a good job. Since all the planets are in a very favorable position, except one thing is that the lord of the lagna is in a very bad shape. So all the best, Malavika. So let us go ahead with our discussion. Well, Sun is the first planet among the 9 planets, and the Sun represents the father, the government, the public fame and success, both political success and personal successes, and prestige in front of others and things like those. Sun represents the right eye. Whenever Sun is strong in an horoscope, the native will be bright, will have a fair complexion and moreover will get fame and prestige in the society. When Sun is weak in the horoscope, the native will have to struggle hard to get success and even career conditions will not be that stable. So this is all about Sun. let us go to the next question. The next question has been posted by Rasifo. Well, let us see about the question which has been posted by the user. I want a very effective ritual of prosperity. I need a ritual for prosperity to have money, luxury and comfort and win in my life a position of power. Also, I want to have a property of houses and protection. Okay, Rasifo, let us go ahead. Well, on analyzing your birth chart, the first point is that the moon is in its own house, and that is the first important thing to note. Okay. So, though moon is positioned in the 9th house, it is in its own house. So, 9th house represents luck and fortune. So, you must be having a lot of luck, and moreover you must be a very mentally stable and very mentally strong person. So, moon represents the mind. So, as you know, it is very strong in the horoscope, and on seeing the major minor period which is running for you right now, you are running the Venus major period which started in December 9, 2006 and it goes on for 20 years till December 8, 2026. So, on seeing the minor period for you would be that of Jupiter. The minor period would be that of Jupiter. So, Jupiter happens to be in the 11th place in your birth chart, which is a very favorable position for Jupiter. So, in its minor period, you will be having a lot of luck and fortune. As indicated, moon is positioned in its own place in the 9th house. So, definitely you will be having all the prosperity which you expected. So, what you can do is, you can go for some effective rituals as I asked for, particularly for the major lord Venus and the minor lord Jupiter. So, Venus denotes rules on Fridays and Jupiter rules on Thursdays. On these days you can go to temples, you can go to the Navagraha Sthana, and you can light oil lamps. Moreover, you can observe fast on the mornings of Thursdays and Fridays. So, the time is very favorable for you, Rasifo, and you need not worry too much about it. Definitely you will get prosperous at this point of time. So, we were discussing about the planets. Next, let us go to the luminary moon. Well, moon represents the mind, which is the most important thing as far as our life is concerned. Next to body, moon, the mind is very important to us. Moon signifies the mind, and a strong moon signifies mental stability and emotional maturity. Whenever the moon is very strong, you know, the person is capable of handling any and tackling any sort of situation which comes on its way. Well, when the moon is debilitated or very weak in the natal horoscope, you know, the person seems to be very timid, very of shy type and of reserved type. So, this should not be the way. So, what you can do is concentrate more when the moon is weak in your horoscope on your social circles and your relationship with others. Moreover, you have to develop emotional stability and a mental maturity sort of thing in your life when moon is very weak in your horoscope. Next thing about moon is, moon signifies the mother. So, a mother gives you all the comforts in your life. Mother is almost, you know, the background for all your successes, and so you must respect your mother. Moon signifies the mother. When the moon is very strong, your relationship with mother and your mother's overall life will be very strong. When it is weak, it is just the reverse. Moon also signifies water and foods. So, when the moon is very strong in the horoscope and particularly related to the house of profession, you can concentrate on business related to water and foods. It is also related to sea travel. To say more about moon, the waxing moon is considered to be very auspicious. So, in your horoscope, if the moon is very far away from the sun, it is very good for the native. This is because moon gets its energy from the sun. So, if the moon is located 4 or 5 houses away from the sun, it gives best results. Okay. Let us go ahead with the other questions. The next question has been posed by Charlene. The question which has been asked is, how will my 2019 love, career and money be? Well, Charlene, let me go ahead with your question after analysis of your birth chart. Well, love is represented by the 5th house, and the 5th house lord happens to be Mars. Mars is located in the 7th house. So, the 5th house lord, the lord of love, is located in the 7th house, which means a good relationship is possible. And let us go to the Dasha and Antardasha. You are running the Venus Mahadasha right from August 14, 2010 till August 13, 2030, that is for a period of 20 years. So, as far as the minor period is concerned, you are running the Rahu minor period. Rahu is located in the 1st house, that is the ascendant house or Lagna, which may not be a very good thing. Okay. And naturally Ketu is located in the 7th house along with the lord of love Mars. So, this may create some hurdles for you in your relationship. Though the lord of the 5th house is located in the 7th house, may be quite favorable, the Rahu Ketu placement may give some hurdles for you in your matters of love. So, what you can do is, you can go for some remedies. Rahu rules Saturdays and Ketu rules Tuesdays. So, on Tuesdays and Saturdays you can also offer some special prayers or do some homas for Rahu and Ketu to make things better for your love matters. Alright. So, you are also running the Rahu Bhukti. So, this will be the remedy for you. As far as your next prospect, that is career, is concerned, let me analyze it and go ahead. Your career, that is represented by the 10th house, whose lord is Mercury. Mercury happens to be posited in the 9th house along with the sun and is combust. So, whenever a planet is combust, it may not be able to deliver its full effects on its significations. So, the lord of the 10th house is combust with the sun, of course, in the 9th house. So, this will not give a very favorable position for your career. Well, Jupiter is placed in your 10th house along with Venus, debilitated Venus. Venus, the lord of the 5th house and the lord of the 12th house, is placed in a debilitated state in the 10th house. this may not be a very favorable position, but Jupiter may bestow you with some good results. So, as far as your career is concerned, and as you are running the Venus Dasa, and Venus is in a debilitated state, so you may not be able to experience the full effects of the Mahadasa. So, many positive results may not spring in, and as far as the Rahu Dasa is concerned, it may also not bestow some good results. Okay. But do not worry, you can go in for remedies for Rahu, Venus. So, concentrate on Fridays and Saturdays to do some special homas or pujas or home remedies. You can observe fastings on the mornings of Fridays and Saturdays. Well, money. Money is signified by the 2nd, 11th and the 12th houses. Why to say the 2nd, 11th and 12th houses? Second house is the accumulated wealth, to say in short your bank balance or something like that, which you had been amassing for so long a time. The 11th house is the income flow, how much gains you get, be it from your career, be it from your parents or inheritance. 12th house is the house of expenditure. So, how much ever you earn, if the expenditure is heavy, then you may not be able to save a good amount of money. So, let us analyze these houses and go ahead with answering your questions. Well, money. The lord of the 2nd house is in its own house, Saturn, and that is a good thing for your accumulated wealth. To say about the 11th house, the lord of the 11th house is debilitated in the 10th house. So, you cannot expect good income flow from your career, but you can get some wealth through inheritance, legacy and things like those. 12th house, the lord of the 12th house is Mars. So, it is along with Ketu in the 7th house. So, Mars in the 7th house may not bestow that much good results, particularly along with the Ketu. Ketu generally breaks off the significations of any planet. So, you can expect to have some money flow through things other than your regular occupation or your career. So, that is all about the questions which you had asked. So, you can go in for some homas or remedies for the planets Venus, Rahu and Mars, and you can also include Ketu. So, Venus rules Fridays, Rahu rules Saturdays, Ketu rules Tuesdays. So, on these days you can observe fast and avoid a non-vegetarian diet. Yes. I was talking about the 9 planets. The next planet to talk about is Mars. Mars signifies energy, aggressiveness, the physique, the physical constitution and the body. So, whenever Mars is strong for the native could be a sportsman, even a policeman, or could be something like a wrestler or very strong indeed. Well, so Mars signifies diseases, delays and problems like debts, loans and other things. Mars is an inauspicious planet in general, that is it is a natural malefic. So, this is all about Mars. Let me go ahead with the next planet, namely Mercury, which is the prince. Mercury represents youthfulness, energy, communication, and it also signifies intelligence. Mercury tells about things like how you behave with other people, how you communicate with other people, and it also signifies some short journeys and things like those. Whenever Mercury is strong, the person will have lot of smiles in his face. Whenever Mercury is weak, his youthfulness is lost. Suppose Mercury is strong in a native horoscope, even if it is old, then he will appear to be young and energetic. His way of speaking, his mannerism will give a lot of vigor and energy even to others. So, that is about Mercury. Next, let us go ahead with the questions. The next question has been asked by Adis. The question which has been asked is, what will I become in life? I mean my career and when? Well, Adis, let me go ahead answering your question. Career, well, before analyzing the 10th house for your career, we must analyze the ascendant of the Lagna, its strength and other things to give prospects for a bright career future. So, as far as the Lagna is concerned, it is Scorpio Lagna whose lord is Mars. Mars is placed in the 11th house, which is a very good thing. So, since it is a natural malefic and is placed in the 11th house, it will usually do good things for the native. That is the first thing. And next thing is that the 10th house from the ascendant. The 10th house is ruled by Sun, which seems to be debilitated. The Sun is debilitated and it is in the 12th house, which is a very bad thing for career. So, you are running the Mahadasha of Saturn right from April 26, 2009 till 25th April 2028 for a period of 19 years. So, under Saturn Mahadasha, you are running the Venus Bhukti. Alright. How is Venus in your chart? Venus is in its own house, but it is in the 12th house again. And Saturn, to say about Saturn, you know, Saturn is in the 8th place. So, this is not a very favorable position. You may go in for some remedies for the debilitated Sun and Venus. So, the days you have to concentrate are Sundays and Fridays. Sundays and Fridays you can observe fast in the mornings if possible, if your health permits, and you can do some special pujas for Surya or Surya Narayana, and you can also offer prayers for Lord Venus or Shukra on Fridays. So, go to temples, go to Navagraha Sthana, circumambulate and get good results. Okay. This is all about your question. So, let us go back to our discussion about the planets. I have been discussing about all the planets till Mercury. The next planet is Jupiter. Well, Jupiter is like a minister for all the planets. It occupies a ministerial position among the planetary circles. What does Jupiter signify? Jupiter signifies intelligence. Jupiter signifies success, gains and auspicious moments. Well, Jupiter has to be very strong to give favorable results for you. Jupiter represents the knowledge of astrology also. If Jupiter and Mercury are strong in your horoscope, you can very well become a renowned astrologer. Jupiter also deals with the banking and accounting and things like those. So, Jupiter is a planet which, if it is very strong in your horoscope, will give most auspicious results in your life. Well, the next planet to talk about is Venus. Well, Venus is also a minister among the planets. So, Venus, the planet Shukra, to say something about that, represents art, beauty, charm and other things like those. Venus is also related to acting, cinema, movies, drama, music and dance. Well, Venus represents an artistic line of profession and it is related to pleasures in life. Whenever Venus is strong in your horoscope, the native will always tend to seek for pleasures, go in for pleasures rather than hard work or something like that. If Venus is debilitated, the native will suffer hard to derive pleasures in his life. Venus also signifies the partner, the spouse, and is also related to marriage. Well, let us go ahead with the questions. The next question is from Deepak. The question is, hi sir, I have been waiting to get huge amount from one of my clients. When will I get it? Well, it is a very nominal question. So, you could always be waiting for getting money from your clients. So, let us analyze your birth chart, Mr. Deepak, and go ahead with the answers. Yes. As I said earlier, the money is represented by the 2nd, 11th and the 12th houses. The income flow is represented by the 11th house. So, in order to derive a good income flow, your Lagna has to be strong, Lagna Lord has to be strong, and the 11th house and the 11th house Lord have to be very strong in particular to derive good income flow. Yes. Your Lagna is Aquarius, Lagna Lord is Saturn. Saturn is placed in the 10th house, okay, along with Sun and Rahu. And so, to go ahead with the analysis, let us analyze the 11th house from your birth, from your ascendant. The 11th house, happens to be the the 11th house from the Lagna happens to be Sagittarius, whose lord is Jupiter, and Jupiter is placed in the 8th house, and Jupiter aspects the 2nd house from the ascendant. This is a good position and you might be able to derive some money because the lord of the 11th house is aspecting the 2nd house. This is almost a form of Dana Yoga because the 11th and the 2nd houses are connected. The 2nd house lord also happens to be Jupiter, which is very strong. So, you can expect to derive your money from your clients soon, but before that let me analyze the Dasha and Antardasha. Well, you are running the Venus Dasha from 9th December 2012 for a period of 20 years till 8th December 2032, and you are running the minor period of Mars. Well, Venus and Mars are your lords of major and minor period. So, Venus is in its own house, in the 9th house of luck and fortune. So, that is a very good thing. So, and as you are running the Mars minor period, Mars happens to be the lord of the 3rd house and the lord of the 10th house. So, you can expect to derive favorable results during this Dasha. So, as you happen to run the Venus Dasha and the Mars Antardasha, things seem to be very favorable for you. So, you can expect to get your money from your clients at this point of time. So, as I indicated earlier, so your planetary positions are very favorable, and do not worry, you will definitely get your money from your client shortly. So, let us go ahead with our discussion about the planets. So, I had been discussing about all the planets till Venus. The next planet, what is the next planet? The next planet is Saturn. Well, Saturn is the very strong planet which gives very slow results, and it bestows beneficial effects very slowly in life. Saturn denotes hard work. Saturn is almost like a hard worker or servant in the astrological philosophy, but Saturn makes you a good disciplinarian, a very strict person, and it helps you reap your karmic debts. For example, though Saturn may give you a lot of hardships, it may help you learn lessons from it. Well, Saturn, though it is considered to be very inauspicious, it may not be the same for all horoscopes. Saturn may be a yoga karaka in some of the horoscopes, which means that it will do very good things for the native during his dasha and bhukti. So, that is all about Saturn. Let us go in for the next question, which has been posted by Miss Anita. Well, the question is, what is the best time for me in career? Yes, let us analyze the horoscope. Yes, before analyzing the 10th house for horoscope, we have to analyze the Lagna and the Lord of the Lagna. Well, the Lagna happens to be Leo Lagna with its ruler Sun posted right in the Lagna. So, it is very strong. So, you may expect to get good results bestowed to you throughout your life in almost all spheres of life. Well, what about the 10th house? The 10th house happens to be Taurus, whose lord is Venus, but Venus is in a debilitated state. So, you may not be able to get very good results as far as your career is concerned. This is because the lord of the 10th house is debilitated. So, your question exactly is, what is best for career? So, as the lord of the 10th house is debilitated, in the debilitated, you can go ahead with the other planets which are very strong in your horoscope, namely Sun and Saturn. So, the professions related to Sun and Saturn are, Sun represents the government jobs, and some jobs which are related to social circles and social spheres, and Saturn is related to hard work, administration, and coming up in life after doing lot of involvement in hard work. So, you can be an administrator, a hard worker, and then become a manager. So, you can concentrate in these spheres of life. Well, let us go to the last question, which has been posted by Prasant V. Rahu and Ketu are shadowy planets which are not physical planets in general. Rahu and Ketu denotes some mysticism in themselves. Rahu denotes the foreign lands and foreign associations, while Ketu is spirituality based planet. So, let us go to the last question. I am in Moon Mahadasha and Venus Antadasha. Is there possible for government job transfer from Mandya to my birthplace Bellary? Well, this is the last question which has been asked by the user. Let us analyze his birth chart. The 10th house ruler is Moon. So, Moon is placed in the 3rd house, which is not very beneficial, and the user is running the Antardasha of the planet Venus. So, Venus is placed in the 11th house of gains. So, you can expect a good result as Venus is placed in the 11th house of gains during this bhukti. So, this is all about the questions which I have been discussing for now. So, thank you so much. Let us meet again in AstroVed Live Connect. Thank you so much.